Hi guys, welcome to another tutorial. Today we're going to be making the leg of mutton sleeve, and using my basic pattern I am going to be shaping the sides of the sleeve. If you do not know how to draft your basic sleeve pattern, I will leave the link in the description box just right below this video, and you can also check the link in the comment section. The first comment you see in the comment section, I'll put the link right there. Okay, and what I am basically doing here is I am just shaping the sides of the sleeve because I didn't do that while drafting my pattern, so I am just trying to give it a little bit of shape at the edges so as to give it that perfect arm curve shape. Now I am going to cut that out. And now, as you can see, I have that perfect arm curve for my sleeve. Now the next thing you would do is fold this pattern in half and press the center part of your sleeve so as to get that center fold of your sleeve on your pattern. Now once you've gotten that, open up your pattern and we're going to mark that center part of our pattern, and this is going to serve as our grain line. Now at this point, go on and measure your shoulder to elbow, and we're going to take our shoulder to elbow from the top of our sleeve right here, and I'm going to take my shoulder to elbow measurement, which is going to be right here. Now from your cap's height line, measure what you have, and you're going to take it on each side of your sleeve, just like I am doing. Now I am going to connect the marks. Now on your cap height line, you're going to go upwards by 1.5 inches. Now we're going to connect this line to this. Next thing we will do now is to find the midpoint from this grain line to the edge of the sleeve. Find the midpoint. And now we're going to connect this mark right here to this. The next thing we will do is to find the midpoint from this to this. Place your tape rule and find the midpoint. Now once you've gotten that, we're going to connect that line to that same line. Find the midpoint between those two lines, and once you've gotten that midline, you're still going to connect it again to this line. Now find the midpoint between these two lines. Now once you've gotten that midpoint, we are also going to connect it to the same line. Again, find the midpoint between these two lines. Once you get that midpoint, connect it again to this line. And this is how to create fullness around the shoulder to the wrist area of your sleeve. Okay, now if you're looking for something that will give you fullness to your wrist area, all you have to do is slash this grain line, the middle grain line, to the wrist. Once you've done that, you can now slash in between the lines, and that way you will create as much fullness as you want. Now moving on. Now I am just going to go on and start slashing this pattern, and you need to make sure that while slashing, make sure that you do not slash through the pattern. Just don't cut it off. Just make sure that you get very close to the edge of the line like this. And now we would go on and start spreading this slashed pattern on a new pattern. Now to spread this pattern, all you have to do is either spread it by 3 inches each or 2 inches, depending on how wide you want it to be. Or you can also do 1 inch Like from right here, you can do 1 inch. Then the next one can be 2 inches. The next one can be 2.5. The next one can be 3, depending on how full you want it to be, okay? The point is you can either make it the same numbers or you can make it a gradual number, that is from low to high. Now I am going to be spreading mine by 2 inches each. And as you can see, as I spread, I am going to be using tape to hold it down to my pattern. Now once you're done taping your pattern, connect this to this. With a ruler, I am just going to make a straight line at the top of this pattern right here. And you also need to make sure that the line is straight. Next thing you're going to do is connect this center grain line all the way up. Using my ruler, I am going to connect that line. From this line, you're going to go upwards by 4 inches, 5 inches, 3 inches, depending on how much volume of puff you want on your fabric. Now for me, I am going to be going upwards by 5 inches. Now once you've marked that line, we're going to connect it to the edges of our sleeve. Now once you're done, add ½ inch at the top for joining to your armhole for the sleeve joining. Now I'm just going to retrace the sleeve on my new sleeve pattern. Now once this is done, we're just basically going to cut this sleeve out. And once you're done cutting, go on and take off the slashed sleeve and you would have this sleeve afterwards. Now moving on, I'm going to show you how to sew this on your fabric. Now as you can see, I have cut this on my fabric. Next thing you want to do is you need to start creating ruffles at the top of your sleeve. Now I am using a needle and thread to create my ruffles. You can use a sewing machine to stitch at the top and then pull the threads. And using a sewing machine will give you more volume, but I just feel this is so much more faster. Now once you're done creating your ruffles, you're just going to go on and push that ruffled part to the center of your sleeve. Now you're just going to double fold the bottom hem of your sleeve and pin, and we're going to stitch that with our sewing machine. Now we're going to start joining the sleeve to the armhole of the dress. Now as you can see, I am basically just pinning the armhole, the sleeve rather, to the dress. And if you notice, I am pushing the ruffles all the way up. Do you see that? You're just going to push the ruffles to the shoulder joining. That is where the upper part of the sleeve is. You can see, push your ruffles all the way up. Now I am going to start pinning the ruffled parts at that shoulder joining upper part of the armhole. because you want the ruffled part to be at the upper part of the sleeve, and this way it is going to help you create that puff you want. Now we're going to take this to our sewing machine and stitch and also join the sides of the sleeve. And first of all, I am just stitching the hem of my sleeve. Now once I am done stitching the hem, I will move on to stitching the sleeve to the armhole part of the dress. The thing with making the sleeve is the thicker the fabric you are using, the greater the puff you will get. That is the most important thing you need to know. And some people actually also iron interfacing at the upper part of that sleeve, at that center part where the puff is going to be. And that is if the fabric you are using is a little bit lightweight kind of fabric. And when you iron interfacing at that center puff part, it's going to help you get more volume for your puff and also make it stand. And now I am done joining my sleeve to my armhole, and as you can see, I have the ruffled part at the shoulder joining of my sleeve, and that is how your sleeve should be. And now we're going to go on and join the sides of the dress to the sides of the sleeve. As you can see, we're joining the side seams together all the way down to the hem of the sleeve. And we are basically done with this tutorial, guys. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, and I will put this dress on and show you the finished look.